came to and really enjoyed it. It's a good name to North Carolina. Your library's got 2 books over there. One is Doc Green. He's from Piedmont Club, and he might even do a demo. You got to really talk to him. He's a professor and everything else. He just doesn't want to do demos. But great book. Ernie Conover is the other one. For anybody that's kind of new, Ernie does more of the basics. He's not into carbide. He's not into high, fancy tools cost a lot of money. He makes his own whatever. He's got a real good article in there on tools. If a M2 high-speed steel tool costs $15 and a carbide tool costs $90 or whatever, if this one doesn't last 6 times as long as the other one, it's not worth doing. And he's got a whole chart in there on the different tools, how much it costs, and is powdered metal better, worth more per tool than M2 high-speed steel and that sort of thing. It's kind of hard to figure out at first, but it's really a nice way of doing things. Ernie's down home on the farm and does things from the basics. His father was a woodturner, his father was a woodturner, and he invented lighting. Today I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to start out with just showing a couple things that are of interest. I make kaleidoscopes, and in doing kaleidoscopes, sometimes I want to put an embellishment in or Celtic cross or that sort of thing. And in doing it, I wanted to make this like threads going around this thing. And it started out good, the angle was right, and the cuts were right. But rather than being a segment that you glue up, I made it inlaid. So by doing inlays, you can actually cut the grooves. I'll pass this around. You can cut the grooves almost all the way through. And the inside you can't see anyway. But it gives you a dead-on precision. You have to cut these are compound angles. Or you could probably put those in somehow and cut the board later. But I made them compound angles. You glue each one in one at a time. And when you get all done, when you turn that round, you get a scallop in there. The scallop, it would be a straight line if you did a straight cut. Instead of a straight cut, I wanted, where am I here? I wanted an arc in here. I wanted to put a thread, a lead angle. It would be a lead angle on a bolt. But instead of being a straight, I wanted a little hump in each one as it went around. And it didn't come out right at all. I have no idea why. But, it didn't come out linear. It's got a scoop here, and then it straightens out. And I have no idea why that would happen, but it did.
Well, it's on the curve.
And there's no way to get around it. Well, it's on a curve, but if you cut it this way,
Yeah.
I suppose you could go.
It's pretty.
Anyway, I'll pass that around. You can look at it. Whatever.
We used to be very impressive until about 30 seconds.
No.
That would be a very hard
I
thing
wouldn't
to do.
I said we were very impressive
Geometry.
until about 30 seconds ago.
Oh.
Well, you have to expect it's kind of
I'll pass
guesswork.
the question.
Because you're going to turn on the curve too.
I don't want them to
almost
look through the kaleidoscope, turn the end, and pan
Or even
around.
that won't do it, 'cause the
prisms
bottom-
on the ends,
what happens
so
when you
that
take the wood away?
it'll change the lighting on it. Rather than just get light or dark, it'll change the lighting on the object. Tonight's going to be a spin on flatwork. Wood turning and furniture work somehow never seem to go together. People that do furniture work all their life turn maybe a tool handle, and that's all they know how to do. And the other side is wood turning turns bowls and whatever else, and you never seem to put the two together. So tonight I'm going to put the two together. I started taking a class on furniture, and then I started putting wood turnings in. They all just went, how did you do that? And it just embellishes flat work with very simple wood turning. One of the brains of my outfit is this parrot left. He's a small parrot, and he sits on my shoulder, and he likes to wood turn and crawls in behind the face shield when the chips start flying. He just has a great time. He keeps me out there all day. You've seen inside-out turnings where you turn 4 pieces and then you reverse it. You break them apart and reverse them. If you turn, I'm sorry, I should have started over. This is my wife, Rita. And you'll hear, Jim, don't do that. Jim, shape up. Anyway. What's that? Anyway, this is just a prototype. Anyway, you do 4 blocks of the front of a bird, or front of anything, and 4 blocks of the back of it. And when you split them apart, you get 2 birds looking that way and 2 birds looking that way. See? I can pass that around too. That's a fun activity.
So how did you get your bird to stand still?
You take a picture of them going by, then you slice it on the computer, print it out, cut it in half, and put half on each side. That's him on the front. That's a turn picture frame. The end has hearts inlaid in it. That's done with a router, and the router plays a little brass thing. It's $35. If you've never used one of those, they're fantastic. You use them for all kinds of things. If you ever make a router table and you want to set that black plate in the top and get the hole just right, you set that black plate on a piece of masonite. You take this cutter, you run around, and you cut the masonite out, then you put a ring on the bottom of this cutter, and you set it on your router table, and you plow that out, and that thing just snaps into place. It just works beautiful. These are done in stripes, and this started originally, I was making kaleidoscopes, and in making the cradle, I'd make the cradle out of one colored wood and the spindle out of another color. And to tell you the truth, I ran out of the other color. So I was going to laminate a couple together, and I thought, well, that's kind of plain, so I turned them corner to corner, and it came out stripes like this, and that's going over real big. I now do it for a lot of things. This scoop is turned with a handle that's laminated. I can pass these. This is a bowling cup. I'm teaching over at the Alamance Community College, and a lot of those guys have never done the basic things. So they've done a couple bowls and they don't know how to do anything else. So we started with all the little projects. These are just fun things. This is inlaid, 2 different colored woods. You can play that if you want. I'll start out by showing how to do that. You take 2 pieces of wood, and you surface both sides of them, and you glue them together. When you get it all glued together, you cut it corner to corner with a bandsaw, and then you take this side and stick it to this side, and you glue that up. Because you can't use a bandsaw cut to glue anything, so this gives you a flat cut. And you end up with a stick looks like this. You can do it dead-on precision to make absolutely 4 absolutely dead-on perfect stripes in here. one of the biggest problems is if you look at the end of this, you'll swear the thing is crooked. It's had squares on it many times. But it's not crooked. I'll turn one of those just to show what it looks like.
Did you have marks on those?
What?
Did you have marks on those, or is that, did you put that in real straight, or is it arbitrary?
No, I had it in here before. I usually do it by eye. On some of this stuff where you want it lined up, sometimes I'll offset it to the color. Sometimes I'll put it in the center. Did anybody get a handout? Do you get a handout? You get handouts? Because there'll be a test later. You gotta have that. I'm being nice tonight. I usually turn pretty fast. I'm a little late at home now. I got to look at all this stuff. When I turn a cylinder, you lock your tool into your side and you rock it in your seat. See anybody waving their arms around, you know they're not going to make it sound. I'm just going to do a couple things on that. If you put a little nick in the thing, you can put a burn in there.
Show what those
Pick
look
up
like.
a burn. I like to use burn as a quick, easy way of putting an axe in it. This is electrical wire. This is number 12 wire. The insulation on the end. Can everybody hear me all right? The insulation on the end, put a little knot on there. You can use the different wires, 20 gauge, 24 gauge, depending on what you like. Then. Okay. Stand it up. This is, I won't do this around here. Anyway, you'll get the idea. I'm going to do some offset stuff here later. Wingsport does make some sandpaper that's on ultraflex, on a little pad. Really nice to get in and making radiuses and doing different things. Really works great. Wingsport got some really nice stuff. Anyway, I won't do too much of that. You can see what the possibilities are. This is ash and mahogany. The next thing I'd like to do is the split turning. These are so easy and so neat to do at home. I thought we could have a board here. Am I all right? Anyway, to do a split turning, I'll do a couple of these things. You glue two pieces together with brown paper bag in the middle. And when you get it all glued up, you take the center on both ends, turn whatever. And when you get it all done, sand it, finish it, right on the lathe. When you get all done, you split it apart, you've got two identical pieces. These can be 3 feet long. You can make them pillars for the side of your fireplace or whatever else. But this actually came off my fireplace. The top, the pillar goes up, and then it stops. And instead of doing some kind of a shelf up there, it took two pieces. It took 2 pieces of wood, probably 3 inches by 6 inches, made a 6-inch circle, glued them together with the brown paper in between them. And then turned the edges, turned them flat, sanded them, put berms around the edge, then split them in half, and I had 2 half-round shells.
You're fine.
Am I all right?
Yep.
Then to do this, I made these up, and these sit in this half-round shelf at the top of that pillar. You also have a pin on them, so when you want to paint the wall, you can lift these out and paint the wall and set it back in. Because I could never forget.
Jim, why brown paper?
Why brown paper?
Yeah.
I don't know, that's the way I learned it. I've heard you can use newspaper.
Jerry knows why.
Terry knows.
I can answer that for you. Some newsprint has really low quality. And if it's a small, lightweight piece, you have centers that hold together, it's fine. But if you do anything that's got some mass to it or off center, or you aren't able to rise, the type of paper that newsprint has to go.
But like just printer paper, is that fine? Regular white paper?
Paper bag in the grocery store.
You don't want the highest grade of white paper because it won't let you run enough.
White paper is full of stars too.
Are you talking brown paper bags?
Brown paper bags work really great, and they're cheap, they're free, and yeah. Tell Rita, she gets them, I don't know.
There's Tina does. You have to ask me, you just said you have a grocery store.
One of the things I developed or got into teaching, especially for beginners, is the drive center. I use the old tailstock center. I used to buy these at Sears for $7. I should have bought 100 of them. Now they don't make them. But anyway, by using this, it gives you a clutch on the end of here. And if you get a catch, or if you're teaching a beginner, when they're, usually beginners are afraid of the lathe and they're afraid something can happen. This thing here, now you can actually stop this. And once they see that, they lose some of the fear. That comes in later. You gotta give them that. Getting their money for it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Anyway, this is 2 pieces glued up. There's a 2 pieces of cherry. There's about an 1/8 inch of cherry. About an 1/8 inch of cherry glued onto a 3/4 inch, 7/8 block of maple. When this splits apart, you'll have a cherry background and a maple front. Cool. Anyway, once you start using this thing, you'll get used to it, and after a while, you can even back off. So this will just hang here and almost do nothing. One of the things they had at the NEW in California, they had that big frame that went over the leg. They had the lights on it and all the rest of that stuff, which was really nice. You could set the lights exactly where you want them. But the other thing was, they had about a 14-inch monitor right here. And when you wanted to show something, like I'm always doing this, you can hold this up and look at the monitor and say, here's a bevel on the end of this tool. And you could place it where the camera was looking. It was really nice. The rest of the frame, I don't know whether it's working or not, but I'll just put a single hand on there. There's a lot of wood turners that are better. And almost all of them are faster now. They can't do anything in 2 minutes. There's nobody on this earth that has more fun. This hand holds the tool down, and this hand does the turn. If you start pushing with the other hand, you'll get mixed crowds and all kinds of stuff. Start to cut straight in, you turn the tool straight up and down, get your mark, and open the tool up just a little bit. And then slide your side. Anyway, you do all kinds of details on these things. Want a ball on the end? I think that's how you make a lot of part of this. Still got a bars in the thing. Put the tool wrench off to do that. If it's soft wood, I preheat the wire on something else that I'm going to throw away and then come back and burn. That works really well. Wherever you like. Yeah, I'm good. How that would get cut off or whatever. So here's where you're holding your breath. This is supposed to work. Put your chisel right in the middle. Got your camera angle. Here we go. There's a thicker end here.
Just stops in the way.
No, great. Good job. You have two matching whatever. That was the easy one. Anyway, it's got a dark background on it, you can see. I'll pass them around it. You can see sitting on a wall or on a piece of furniture, you can accent things real quick, real easy. It's best to make a little drawing on there. Once you get it rounded, I like to make a little drawing. Should have done a little more of it. I'll do that on the next one. When you go to make these things precision, if you turn this round and then do some detailed cuts, like you want it to end here, take your parting tool and go right in there. And then you want a little dimple here, go right into roughly whatever you think it is. You want a dimple here, go right in. You want to end it here, go right into your parting tool. Then you've got the spaces defined as far as height and whatever. If you don't slip or something, you're all set. You know, sometimes they change a little bit. Hey, no matter what you do, they're going to match.
Stay there.
I'm not getting going. Good one. Oh, this is what the good ones look like. I would have a chalkboard, but I don't, so. Doing something like that, when you turn it around and split it, you get exactly a half round. And it's going to be twice as wide as it is high. If you don't want that, you have to put a spacer in. I'll try to show this. Can we see that?
Yeah, I can come in close, sorry. Caught me sleeping.
No. Oh, we don't. We could all turn over.
I could turn the camera upside down though.
This. We're gonna be over here.
They can see it.
This is the center of the block, and then all this white stuff is waste. And this ends up the top. You have to actually draw this, but that little section there, you can see this is 3/4 of an inch high here, and it's going to give you 2.5 inches wide here. So if you want something flatter, you have to put a waste block in between it. And that ends up looking something like this. And if you're not thinking, you make the waste block out of plywood.
All your tools.
It's more stuff that turns.
Cut it, can you?
After it got all done, I thought, why would you use that?
I was wondering that. Anything but plywood to glue in there, just all your tools.
Where does MDF? That's even better.
Yeah,
Yeah, just gets-
we're gonna do it anyway.
You still have to eat your tools up.
And does wonders for your lungs.
So you
Kind of soft.
want to turn it down. I can't believe I did that. I don't use plywood for anything.
You had a senior moment. Been around.
Yeah,
It was free wood.
it was free.
It was
flat.
piled to burn.
I'm not gonna bring her next time. She tells all the secrets. I just wrote an article on my lathe. I got so disgusted, you know, this little brass handle is nice, but when you want to put some pressure on this thing, take these off, put a nice wooden handle. It comes up and you get a hold of that, put a barrel on the bottom, just like a tool handle. And I did all my mini lathes, I did the table saw, I did everything. They're just beautiful. Anyway, we'll see what this comes out. Should be interesting. I'll turn this down. All right. Pay attention because there's a lot of air flopping around on the outside of it. They shut it off every now and then. What they're doing. What you get. I think we're almost all into steel. You're new to woodworking. I have a piece of tools to design. That thing worth about 12 bucks for any tool. Learn how to sharpen. Grind the daylights out of this thing. I've got to be done a little more. When you learn how to sharpen, then go out and buy a power mill tool, whatever you like. Don't buy something as hard as nail to learn how to sharpen. Also, it's nice if you do this, make your waste block some contrast in color. It really helps. Once you cut through it on the end, you'll see the different colors come up and you know you'll see the whole thing. Last time I turned or saw plywood turn was on this lathe. Now Bastion did that, right? Now Bastion turned the bowl out of the plywood. It was so hard to turn. The lathe blew a fuse every 5 minutes. When this lathe, you have to wait 3 minutes to turn it back on. See what we look like here? We're getting down to something.
turning mahogany on the top of the mahogany block. You go ahead and turn the mahogany, you never know what you're going to get anymore. I went to buy a load of cherry to make a cabinet for my bathroom. The cherry was such bad stuff that I bought mahogany instead. Yeah. This is on the handout. It's the one that quite long. It's a little bit deceiving what you end up with on one of the
He uses less fuel though.
When you see the fire department show up at the door with an axe.
You're right underneath the sprinkler, you get wet first.
No.
I'll just leave you quick.
They don't.
Flashing green.
That's pretty good. It could go down a little bit deeper, but you get the idea. Now, one of the nicest parts of this is you would actually sand this and finish it right on the lathe. While it's this way, do everything you can. You put your tool or your chisel under here. You can say prayers in the back.
kind of glue and how long do you let it sit?
This is just yellow glue. I'd let it sit overnight on this, but on a lot of this stuff I do, I don't know, an hour. On this thing,
Put it in the bag.
you're putting some pretty good cords on this. And now you've got two matching pieces. They're only that thick and that big around. Put these together, and you're only an inch and a quarter thick. But that could be all finished and ready to go. You want to take the break now, or do you? Yeah. They're good? Sure, yeah. This. I don't think I'll mark this one. This is easy enough to do.
How often does it fly off the leg?
Not very often.
Only during
You'll know. You'll be the first one to know.
George hates it when you do Somebody doesn't cut.
Hardly ever happens, believe me. We're gonna get off. Take your time getting into these things because if you turn a hump on this side, that's another thing. Sometimes you like to stop and see where you're at. Now this side I'll turn it through. You can watch the shadow here and see where you are in relation to round. You can do these on multiple centers. You don't want to take too much off that end because I want to go wrong. When you're demoing and you have to talk a little bit, you can forget what you're doing. You just go there. Anyway. See what that looks like? Round on this side, pretty round on this side. I'll take this down a lot. Another rule of thumb is, leave the fan side. I should have turned this the other way around. But it won't make too much difference. If you turn it out and do the opposite to the other side. You usually leave the flattest part up by the drive end so that the power coming through is a little better. I'll put some kind of beads in here.
doing the opposite corners?
Yeah, switch to the opposite corner. Took that off. I'll take as much as I can. Took the other one off. It only happens in Demo. Yeah. Got a feeling for where you're at.
That is pretty good. It's all right. It's a little fiber. Can you feel the outside of it? No, I feel her good if it comes up with the grain. It's got a nice roughness on the I like the dark. I like the dark. You get a handle on it. You get a handle with the bark on.
Oh, yeah.
And then they don't roll like put a flat on everyone. And you put it on the arm.
Yeah, if there's one. And only at the head thing. It doesn't take much. You don't go, ooh, what's that? Hand isn't there.
Put your hands on the dog and behind the neck.
I'm gonna make this high and take it down to the low here.
That came in a couple months ago. Prototype that we had at the temporary place.
You can see from the shadow rig, I have to go here with that.
And then we go to the other place?
You take the center off of it now.
When they were renovating this house? Okay. Right.
And you don't go too deep. You can keep your center, which is exactly center on everything. And sometimes it's nice to go to the back of that, just to touch it up for a third act. Makes things a little different.
Oh, they were. That's wild thing. That's wild thing. I'm not sure if they got
I think you did reference the transporter.
There we go. Take this down here, and I'll take this out of here.
With a you might have a video around there too. I should have checked mine.
Also, between each one of these, you want to stand. I should have filled that stuff. You can actually stand this thing, especially with that foam. That foam takes some of the pounding out of it.
At home, I have a cart that I roll up to. I've got 4 different lathes. If I want to use one on the other side of the shop, I just roll it over there. It's got the lights on it. All the tools are in the same place. You can do all the switches tools, and they have them piled behind you. It just takes you longer to pick up the right tool than it does to use it a lot of times. Anyway, that's getting pretty good. Could be down a little lower. This could come in here more. Way up the center. Still got to get some. There's one flat spot. You're the only one that's sorry. He's done. He's been really helpful in doing my demo because nobody holds back. And when we ride home, tells me all the flaws and, you know what you did? No, I have no idea.
She would do that on Valentine's Day.
No. Yes, you would. She's been a teacher all her life and it shows. I think that's good just to show. Yeah, it's going to make it. I started doing demos in Ohio, and well, I guess I've got some memorable experiences. I did one on scaling. I built a tugboat. I started in high school. I'm a 5-foot tugboat that scaled off a 1-foot model. It has a steam engine and it has radio control and all of it. But this was a woodworking and wood turning, and I was doing a demo on scaling things from one to another, and I turned around and looked at it. I was looking at it. I had no idea what I did. Now to sand this, I should have shown this on the other part too. Make sure you get your tool rest out of the way, and hold the sandpaper lightly. I should have done the other part too, but after video, we'll see what happens. On this, you have to just, it's best if you can hold it on top and then just bring it in. But I'll tell you, that stuff with the pad, this stuff really works nice. And it fits right into all the nooks and crannies. And if I'm doing a real good job when I get all done, I hand sand it like that. The next thing I was going to once you start using that clutch, you'll use it for a lot of things. It just kicks out there, but it really works nice. I'd actually park this off right on the lathe probably, but being that there's so many people around here, although sometimes when you park things off, that last little nut will break. And I'm finding now, I bought one of those little hacksaws that's a half thing with a handle and a hacksaw blade in it, and buy a real fine hacksaw blade and just saw that last little part. The other thing is that I'm learning, when you cut something off, don't cut it off square, because then you have to sand that whole end. You could dome that thing down to like 1/8 of an inch. You can sand it and even finish it. And then saw that 1/8 of an inch off, and you only got that much to sand. After you stand long enough, you get real smart. Anyway, now this should be about done. I could go back to centers and do a third center on this if I wanted to do something else right down the middle. But third center view over here. That's not too exciting. At the same time, I'm not going to do that. We're going to be out of here. Only got another 2 minutes. Oh, we'll split that half. If you don't believe it can be done. It's over the paper. There it is. I put some marks on here. Sorry. You tell me to do some things and maybe you can't do that. Anyway. Pieces that are opposite of each other. This one's going to be on 2 centers. It's going to have a stripe in it. Went out to my shop and I made one like that. And I thought, that's neat. I'm going to make one more with a stripe in it. And after I had it glued together, I cut it in half and I started gluing the stripe in. And I thought, that's crazy. You just cut the glue joint in half and glue it. Sometimes you have to stop and think of what you're doing. I'm going to turn this corner to corner, similar to the other one. This is maple with a cherry stripe in it.
Is there also paper?
There's paper right in the middle.
Okay.
So I've got 2 pieces that look like this. There's one.
And you're right on the blue line.
I'm on the glue line, but I'm probably about, about 7/16 of an inch off the center on both ends, on the opposite centers.
Those pencil line? You're going to use those pencil lines on
These are pencil lines, and I did this to lay this out. I just did a figure here. But once I get it laid out, I mark it in black. Just roughly, because you're going to take this off later and look at it. And then get my spindle later. David gets sick with strobe lights. We'll know pretty soon. Some people do.
Jim, where did you get yours?
This is Radio Shack. Oh Lord. 10 years ago, at least. Oh, this is beautiful on the steps. I mean, and somebody I don't know what I do without Alan.
Where do you keep Alan in your shop?
I'll tell you, he's been through. I had one demo I was supposed to do. I forget what I was supposed to do. And I got the flu that morning. I'll tell you, I was so kind of sick I couldn't see.
Alan Bill Drill.
I called Alan and in about 8 minutes he put together a demo. You all set?
Well, what did he say about you today? What did he say to you?
I won't tell them that. No. What are we doing, man?
Not plug in.
Oh, we gotta push the little button on there.
Oh,